Hi there, my name's Andy Freeman, and this is Time to Breathe. We're running these short mindfulness sessions every Thursday at 4, and they're open to anyone, but they particularly connect with our positive activities program and our support for wellbeing workers, which you can find out more about on our website, and I'll mention at the end of the session. But we're going to take time now just to reflect and to be mindful of our days, how we're feeling, and to get a little bit of time for us. So just at the start of this session, why don't you take a moment to be still, to settle, and to find some time to breathe. I'd like to begin by reflecting. I'd like you to reflect on the last 24 hours and take some time to think about all the different things that have gone on in the last day, in the last 24 hours or so. Almost try and see things like a movie scene, I guess. Imagine different sort of shots and scenarios. Try and take each of those points and places and take time to reflect on all the different things that have happened. How have you felt? What's gone on? Just take some time to be still and to see all the different parts of what's made up your last day. And if you can, try and zero in on your emotions. We're really influenced by a mystic and thinker called Ignatius, who founded the Jesuits, and he talked about the idea that emotions are the strongest indicator for us about things like purpose and vocation and sense of self. So in that thinking about the last 24 hours, try and really zero in on your emotions. How did you feel? What were the emotions that went on? And if you can, find one that's really strong. Find an emotion that really speaks to you or stands out, and think about that one particular incident. Take time with it and to reflect on what went on there? What did I feel? Why did I feel that? Take some time with that now. And then begin to ask yourself, what can I take from that? What can I learn from that for the next 24 hours and beyond? Is there anything from that particular incident and those emotions that I felt that I can take into the rest of my life? Is there a gift in that, or a piece of learning, or something for me to consider, reflect on, a behavior or a thought, or something I'm taking with me that maybe I don't need to, or something I can let go of? Take some time with those thoughts now before we move forward. One of the things that we talk about a lot at Space to Breathe is about understanding yourself. If we can become more self-aware, then we're able to consider where we are with a sense of reality. It doesn't necessarily change what we're facing or what we're going through, but if we begin to really understand our emotional sense of self and build emotional awareness, then it's a really good thing for our well-being, because we will know genuinely when we're struggling and what to do, and when we're doing well, and we'll be able to begin to see those worries that sometimes can be quite elusive, those anxieties that we don't really know or we can't place. We begin to see them a little bit more clearly and understand them. and we can do something about that. I often think it's like pulling up the engine of a car. So consider doing that for a moment as you look at yourself. Consider thinking, how do I work? If you think of this engine analogy, how would you top up your oil or fuel? How do you know when pressure is building up or when something isn't right? Who do you ask to help you when something needs looking at? Why don't you pause the video now and use this image and idea and have a think about those questions to build your own sense of self. The reason this is useful is, well, this is what Carl Rogers says, that the curious paradox is that when I accept myself as I am, then I can change. We often try and change ourselves from a place of where we're not, but actually really accepting where I am, even if that's not a difficult place, is important, because there's a truthfulness and a self-honesty to it and a self-awareness that enables us to build. Because then from there we can say, well, what can I do? What can I understand? And particularly what I want to reflect on is for us to really begin to understand how we are. How are you doing, really? What are the things that are going on in you right now? And to not just look in terms of challenges or problems, but also in terms of our own personal flourishing. How am I growing? What am I enjoying? What am I feeling is strong? How am I doing? And to reflect on that, I'd like you to use this image of an oak tree. And particularly consider the roots that you can see in front of you here. The roots are the place that provides stability for the tree, that draws strength from the ground. I'd like you to use this image, and I'm going to put some music on and just give you some space. I'd like you to reflect on stability and where you draw strength. How secure and stable do I feel? What are the things that rock me and move me in the wind a little bit? What are the things that are keeping me strong? And particularly this idea of, as a tree draws strength from the ground, where do you draw strength from, and how can you make more time for those things? Each root has a purpose. And sometimes we can neglect those things that we know give us strength. But there is a basic idea that when we are drained or when we're tired, that we find something to refresh us and strengthen us. That we need to not just give out, but also to receive. So use this image now as a way of reflecting and to think to yourself, where do I draw strength? I love this quote from Rumi, the poet, Sufi poet, who said, "We carry inside us the wonders we seek outside us." If you've ever been in therapy, there's the idea that actually you hold a lot of the answers and the keys and the methods and approaches that can help change your circumstances. They're already within you, and a good therapist will open the door to that and enable you to see those things inside yourself. So we carry inside us the wonders we seek outside us. We may be looking for things outside of us to change our circumstances or for something to be different. We're looking for answers, but actually we may well know those things within us. We may already have at our disposal those things that can strengthen us and help us to grow. I'm going to conclude this time just with an opportunity to do a breathing exercise. So as I just clear the screen just for a moment, just take a moment to notice the in and out movement of your breathing, to reflect on the physical aspect of everything about how you breathe. Hear those inward and outward breaths, feel the movement of your rib cage, the pull down of your diaphragm. And as I put this image on the screen, just take some time to reflect just solely on the physical aspect of your breathing. Each time you get distracted, come back to that in and out motion. And find a relaxed way of breathing so that you're imagining a feather being blown across a table. And as we take time now, just take a moment to, as you breathe in, to think about something you really need right now, maybe a sense of calm, and imagine that flowing around your body like the oxygen that's in that breath that's then transported around your bloodstream to every part of your body. Imagine that sense of calm or peace that you might need flowing around every part of your body. And again, we're going to give you some music and some time just to be still. Before we conclude this session, I just want to remind you of the support that we can offer you at Space to Breathe. At the moment, we've got a couple of free to access programs going on. If you're somebody who's a frontline worker within the voluntary sector, there's a number of training opportunities, but also spaces like this, and then the chance to also connect with wider support that you can find on our website on the Wellbeing Workers section. So if you head to our front page, you'll be able to find that. And then also through our partnership with South Yorkshire Housing Association, we're running a positive activities program just for anyone in the Sheffield area to join in with. And it gives the opportunities for one-to-one support, but groups around learning mindfulness, around well-being tools, around practical aspects of well-being. And then we're also going to be starting a kind of safe space that you can come along to every week. So the details are here on this flyer. And then also Time to Breathe. These sessions are running every Thursday at 4 o'clock, and you're very welcome to join in with anyone. If you want to know anything else, check out our website and we can tell you more. But otherwise, thanks so much for joining in with this session, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.